I want to talk about an anime from winter 2023 that I should have been talked about, and that is Reborn to Master the Blade from Hero King to Extraordinary Squire. Now, this is an anime I had in the works to make a video about for so long because I had plans what I wanted to do with the video, thumbnail idea, and all this other stuff, but laziness and not contacting people made this video take forever. But let's talk about this anime because the main character in here, English, or her nickname is Chris. She's essentially Goku. She's a female Goku, or you could say she's basically built like a Saiyan. Mainly because all she wants to do is fight people and fight people strong. And if you know what Saiyans do in Dragon Ball Z, they're always battle and hungry for like battle and all that. That's literally what she is. And she wants to fight stronger opponents and all this. And she loses her mind when she finds somebody that's strong and she wants to fight them. She'll drop anything and everything she's doing just to straight up fight them. And then also, just like saying, she eats a whole bunch of food because they literally show video. There's literally like scenes of like her just smashing on like in the room of smashing so much food. Like if you remember like I think it was the tournament in the Buu Saga or the tournament saga, whatever, in Dragon Ball Z when it's like Gohan, Vegeta, and Goku and they're all just smashing and they have all the plates that are just stacking up. That's literally what her and her cousin do. And it's just like, yeah, I'm sorry, she's built like a Saiyan. She's essentially a Saiyan that was put in this little reincarnation anime, and it's just kind of funny because I'm just saying she's just a Saiyan. She's literally one of the lost Saiyans. We could say that's lost somewhere in Universe 7 of Dragon Ball Z. But I digress. Let's talk about this anime because it starts off very fascinating because the main character, we find out that basically in her past life, she was a king who was like a hero king and was loved by all the people and did like all these like helpful things for the kingdom. So as he's passing away, he's talking to the goddess and they're having a conversation. He's saying, oh, if I can ever be reincarnated, I want to be basically reborn as somebody that can basically not have to stand out and be a hero and all that. It can just enjoy battle and all that. So I think it's one of these anime where a person gets reborn 1,000 years later or somewhere around that line. Just know that person gets reborn as a little girl, and when we get introduced to her, she's a little baby. And basically the first scene that we see is a dragon, some type of big dragon comes in and crashes into the window they are, knocks out his mom, knocks out the mom, her aunt, and then like her older cousin. Is just her and her little cousin that are both babies. So guess what she does? She powers up and then she blows the dragon away with a big ass blast, and it's some of the funniest shit ever. I'm just like, dog. I was like, no, they did not just do a scene where a baby's just being OP. Like, it sets the tone for just letting you know how OP this character is. And as we see this character grow, we see her fight this one person that was like older than her, and he's using all these tricks and magic to beat like all these knights, and then she's like a little 4 or 5 year old girl and then whoops his ass because she can understand magic and all that. And we also learn that this world is like vastly different than what he remembers because there's like really nothing from her past life here, like none of the heroics that she did in her past life to like set the like world to be straight. She finds out that it's kind of vastly different when it comes to just people using certain magic and all these other type of things. It's like vastly different than what she remembers. So like that's why she's able to be OP, is because she remembers how to use this certain type of magic, and I think it's like mana and all these other things that all the normal people don't know. Another thing about this world that's vastly different than what she remembers in her past life is you have these two different people. You have people that live in the sky and they're called Highlanders, and they're just seen as like these super noble people, like they're above the king and all that, and they basically look down on people, no pun intended, because yes, they live in the islands in the sky, but still they look down on people, and they think the people that live on the land, which is like the land people, they think that they're disgusting and like they're beneath them and all these other things. So you have like this one group which is called like they're basically called like the Steel Blood Crusaders or something like that, and they're basically the one group that fights against them. We see they're just like the kind of evil antagonist group that's been shown, not really evil, but just like antagonist group that's shown throughout the anime as they trying to basically take over these Highlanders and take them out, because one, they use this medicine thing on them that turns the Highlanders into these giant big ass monsters and all that. So I mean, you have that dynamic too, and throughout the anime that does play out pretty interesting. But the one other character I got to talk about is Ronnie, who is basically Chris's cousin, and like that's who Chris looks like. She looks after her like a lot. Anytime something's going to happen to her, she's like, no, I got to protect her. And she's also trying to like make her be the hero. That's why like Chris is basically a squire to Ronnie, because she does not want no spotlight, even though Chris is way stronger. And everybody in the anime notices that too. But the crazy thing is Ronnie's actually kind of OP too, because she has like this crest, because like they all have these runes and crests that's supposed to show like how strong they are. But when it comes to Chris, she basically made sure that hers wouldn't show up because she did not want one. She was like, yo, I do not want nothing crazy to show up. I'm gonna manipulate the mana katana that it does not show up. But yeah, but Ronnie has one. It's like a higher tier one, so like she's actually able to use OP stuff, and like she also gets this one weapon that's like a bow and arrow type of weapon that can also like hurt people, and then also can heal people. So I mean, it was just an interesting weapon. But yeah, her as a character, she basically just reminds me of like a little Gohan, like because I was saying like how Chris is basically Goku, so like Ronnie would kind of be Gohan, just saying in a way, mainly because she has so much potential, but she has not fulfilled it yet. So like just kind of reminds me of that in a way. And when she gets upset, she actually becomes nice and strong at times. Also, there's just that little similarity between those two. I just see the parallel between them, and it's kind of funny when I was watching this anime. It was kind of hilarious. I was like, they kind of just remind me of some Dragon Ball characters, but still, I digress though. But yeah, it's still a pretty good anime, and I enjoyed it while watching. I do like the art style. The art style is really nice, and I mean, there's a lot of strapped up people, I'll say, in there. So one of the things I really enjoy is just like the reactions of all the characters, like when it comes to like Chris being OP, and it's kind of hilarious. Like the principal at the school she goes to, basically there was like this thing where like the principal's trying to test out everybody's magical powers, and she says, oh, if anybody can basically beat these golems and survive and stay on this thing long enough, anybody that's left up there will basically get free lunch, dinner, anything in the dining hall whenever they want for like the rest of the year or whatever. And so Chris and Ronnie hearing that, they're like, oh yeah, we're taking them out. So they keep taking them out, and it's kind of hilarious until the principal gets mad. She's like, yo, can y'all just stop? I will give you two the free meals for life if you just let everybody else just fight them, that I can see their power. And it was kind of funny. So I just love the reactions they have to her, because like she does a lot of out-of-pocket stuff when it comes to her just being strong, and it's kind of hilarious. And just seeing some of the other characters' reactions, because she's always just still like, yo, I'm strong, I know I am. And then like her reactions of like when she sees somebody else strong and wants to fight them. There's a funny moment when there's somebody that's older than her, and she's like, yo, I want to fight you. And she's like, oh, and like she's a super lazy student that never wants to fight anybody or do anything. And she's like, oh, here. She's like, here, you can fight me, but she's like, you got to answer my question. How did you get those big melons basically right there in your chest? And she's like, I can't really like help you with that. And it was just kind of funny, because it shows that like, yeah, Chris wants to fight any and everybody, but like sometimes she can't answer, you know, requests and other things to fight somebody. And it was just kind of funny. So I like some of the additional characters they have. And we see they do meet two other friends. We meet this one girl where like she has purple hair, and like her brother was like somebody that went off with like the steel ball people, whatever, went off with them, and now everybody looks down on her because like her brother left the night order and all this other stuff to basically be a rebel and all these other things, so people are looking down on them. So like there's that too, that was just like interesting. And like when they met her and they just accepted her, and they're trying to tell everybody like, y'all know she is not her brother's, like she's her own type of person. And then eventually the whole school eventually starts to actually like her and all the other things, because they realize like she's actually good and all that. And then one of the scenes I really liked was towards the end when we saw this one Highlander, because like the Highlanders, they think they're above everybody and they think they're just shit, but like Chris there just basically whoops this one Highlander's ass, and it's kind of hilarious. And she's like, oh, this is all you got? Another thing we see is like towards the end is the steel ball front. We see basically the leader, he like uses like the one girl as a weapon. I forgot exactly what they call them. They're called like high something, and there's like basically these people that can turn into weapons or whatever, and like the weapons are super OP because it's a person. But yeah, he goes against that Highlander, he basically whoops that Highlander's ass, and it's kind of crazy. And then like when it comes to Chris, she eventually has to leave, and she goes and fights this big ass like monster that's over there, basically her classmates have all got their ass whooped by. Eventually she takes it out, and then everybody's just like, oh yeah, Chris is so OP and all this other shit. It's kind of funny. But yeah, if you've seen this, let me know how you feel about it. If you've not seen this, why not check it out? The whole anime is out, so you can watch it, because literally came out in winter 2023, so it's been out, so you can watch it. It's on Crunchyroll, or you know, hop in your pirate ship, watch it that way too though. But this is one of the ones I really enjoyed from last season that I was enjoying a lot, because I liked the story, I liked the characters, I enjoyed the animation / art style. It was pretty good. Like, it's not the craziest thing ever, but I just liked her character because it's just kind of funny at times, because I mean, it's just an OP character, and there's a lot of little funny moments, but it's not the best thing ever, because of course this is still goes into, you know, the trash pile of Isekai and like reincarnation anime, because you know they're all typically about the same thing. But this one was okay. It was unique enough where I enjoyed it for the most part, and had some little cool moments. If it's ever got a season 2, I wouldn't be mad about it, because there was stuff in here that I enjoyed. There's stuff in here that I was like, that was kind of meh. But at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this one, and like I really liked it. And I like some of the similarities that just had me rolling when I was just like, oh dog, I was like, she's a goddamn Saiyan. I said, one, she's battle hungry, and she wants to eat a whole bunch of food too. I was like, yes, she's a goddamn Saiyan though. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, why not like? If you didn't, you could dislike, subscribe, you really enjoyed. But yeah, check this one out, because this Reborn anime was actually pretty dope, and I enjoyed it. And like there's a lot of funny moments that I enjoyed though. And also, just know there's like the one Highlander that gets turned into like the one little monster, and like the one little monster would always hide in like the girl's chest, and it was kind of funny at times. But yeah, this anime was alright though. But yeah, thanks for watching. The next video. Bye.